Welcome to this video, igorBrest. And we have a 15-minute game. Let's see, I just want to attack the center immediately. I mean, he plays some kind of an accelerated London system with bishop f4, and often played by positional players or players who, you know, want to avoid mainline theory. Here, this might get to some similar Benoni structures. What can we do here? We can attack this pawn here very, very quickly. This e6, bishop b7, and that's what I want to do now. I want to avoid c4. This is why I play b5. He takes. All right, so I have pair of bishops, and if you look at this position, I'm already developed with two pieces and white's no piece out, so I'm really happy. I can try something like bishop b7 now. If he takes here, I have bishop b5, d5. I will a center pawn. I think I do this. So how does he want to really defend the pawn on d5? Maybe d6 is a decent move, but so you see that the pawn on g2 is also hanging. So he must retreat to f1, I guess. But then the pawn on b2 is hanging. So you can already see that after like 6 moves, I think black is much better. And I'm developed with 3 pieces. White is just 1. He needs to protect this piece or, you know, retreat, because, well, it's a very difficult position. So what do you learn out of this game already? I mean, he played so quick. We have a 15-minute game, and after 5 moves is already lost, or 6 moves. So take your time. Now he starts thinking, but I think it's too late. Yeah, and here I'm just winning a whole piece. So still, pawn on g2 is hanging, pawn on b2 is hanging. My queen is developed. I'm a whole piece up for just 1 pawn. Yeah, this is it's over. I don't even know if I should take this pawn. I can also, but I do. I mean, a pawn is a pawn. Do I have something quicker? Like, what about, I can also take here, but I don't want to. My pieces are really nice in the center, so I think I just play e6, bishop e7, castle. What happens now? My monitor just turned black. I hope you still see everything. Knight c3 maybe. I think I just retreat the bishop to c6. Not to, I played to c4 just to avoid him castling. And after knight e5, I have queen b5 maybe also. Queen b5 now is maybe a good move. Although knight c3, queen b4, difficult. I just want to castle, and then everything is fine. I think maybe I also take on f3 now. Why should I give him just you know, this knight is good on e5. I take and play queen d5. I can afford now to lose some tempi, but I don't want to give him, you know, attacking chances. What's the big deal with taking here? I don't get it. queen c1. But after queen c1 I play queen d3. But this doesn't help me. So, but queen c1, I have rook e2 check. This is killing. So I guess knight c4 is just winning. Let's see. We have almost 14 minutes, and you know, I'm a whole piece up. I can take some time. So let's say I just take here. If I take, he can't castle. His queen is attacked. I threaten to exchange queens. So he either needs to move the queen or move the knight here, for example. But if he moves the knight, I think I just retreat the bishop to a6. He still can't castle. And I have an excellent position. Knight e5 is not possible. I just take here. If he takes here first, I take back. Nothing's going on. And queen c1, I have rook e2. Check. Rook f1, I win the queen with rook c2. Yeah, let's do it. So now I have a piece and a pawn and the better position. Okay, this is played very quick, and now I don't see any kind of counterplay. Of course I take with the knight, otherwise he would have he could play knight e5 and pick up the bishop here with a check and a fork. But this is like hopeless. I mean, look, my pieces are more active, and he cannot castle. I can also take on a2, by the way, with the bishop. But you know what? I don't want the pawn. I just want to take control over the central light squares here, and I don't want him to castle. So this is why I play bishop a6. I'm so much up in material that this pawn is really not worth anything. Or it's worth something, but not as much as the time and this comfort I have now. So he castles long. Alright, so I can take on a2 now with the rook, and I will do it. He cannot even move the knight here somewhere, because if he plays knight b3, the pawn on f2 is hanging. I'm just lagging development, so I just play e6 now. You know, if I take on f2, he has a nice trick. He can take on d7. I take with the rook, and then knight c5, check, and again a fork. So those knights are tricky. But by playing e6, I protect c5 also with my bishop. So f2 is hanging now. Maybe I can play bishop e2 also. I mean, the bishop did his job, and well, let's see. What else? I could play g6, g6, bishop g7. I mean, look at this diagonal. This is juicy. I also have knight e5, knight e3. Normally I don't like to play, you know, two moves in the opening with the same piece, but I think here it's good. Knight d3. Let's say I play knight e5, he plays knight e4, I have knight d3 check. And if he plays king b2 then, which what he needs to, I have rook b2 and can collect this knight. So after knight e3 he needs to take with the rook here, and I just want an exchange. So I think I do this. Maybe he can play king b1 now. What else is there? Maybe c4, and I have bishop a3 check. I like this. Maybe I should have thought a little bit longer and played c4 immediately, you know? Just imagine not knight to e5, but c4. Knight is attacked, and then bishop a3 check. Yeah, it's all very nice. And you can see that all those light squares, one on e2, d3, c2, they are all weak. And I can jump with my knight to d3, and this knight is a monster there. I also take f2, I have a fork on the rooks. The only thing I don't like is those, you know, undeveloped pieces on my king side. But it's just a question of time. I think white doesn't threat anything, so yeah, I think this is a good move. But I can play rook a4, which avoids any kind of knight e4 maneuver, and I have bishop d3. I have the c4 move I've just mentioned, but maybe even knight d3. You know, I don't want to give him the d4 square for his knight, so okay, he forces me virtually to go there. So let's give him the favor, though this knight is really strong there. I like this bishop on this diagonal, so maybe I play g6 and then bishop g7. The pawn is now protected by the knight. I threaten knight f2, although I'm not really sure if I just take this exchange, also because this knight is so good on d3. Okay, now I play g6 and knight bishop g7. Don't need to think that much here. If you look at the position, it's even very hard for him to move something. This knight, maybe e5, yeah, but I have control over e5 2 times, and he can't move there. I don't care about this. Now, what can I do? Do I have some checkmating ideas? Something like knight b4, bishop d3. Huh. He wants to play e5. What if I play bishop c3 now? Or you know what? If he plays e5, I can crack up the center with f6 later on. So I want to develop. I want to be as quick as possible. This is very slow. So I take once. Maybe I can even take 2 times. This bishop is also eyeing on the rook on f1. c4. If he moves the knight, I have rook a1 also. Bishop e5, he has knight f3. But then I have maybe bishop c3. c4, f6, I take, he takes here, I need to take back, he takes, that's not good for me. Maybe really bishop e5, or bishop c3 directly. But then he has maybe king d2, bishop goes to b4 later on. You know, I don't want to help him developing his pieces, so knight f3 is a good move, I guess, by playing bishop e5. So maybe I just, you know, play bishop here. And next move is c4 and rook b8. So my pieces are all around his king. This king can't be feeling happy. I doubt it. I threaten also knight b4, c4, rook a1 checkmate. I take with this pawn because I want to, you know, to keep the rook here. Maybe I could have played even rook b8, you know, just saying I don't care about all this. Now rook b8. Beautiful. So look at this. The only piece that is not playing is the bishop on a6. And now I can also retreat my bishop to g7. So this diagonal is the diagonal of the bishop. It's very, very nice. Yeah, and here I thought I'd just retreat to g7. I have knight b4 now. And the king needs to go to the back rank. And if I then kick the knight away, I have rook a1 checkmate. Just as one idea. Maybe even knight b4, bishop d3. I have also rook a2. There's so much going on now. I mean, I don't see anything for white. And it's not that I only have the attack. I have much more material. If you compare the pieces, the bishop is a monster. You know, the whole diagonal except for the bishop. My rooks both are, you know, on nice open files. This rook is maybe the best piece of white. He has some nice squares and attacks f7, but look at the rest. The rook on d1 is really terrible. This knight is just hanging. I can just take it. But I want to checkmate him also. Rook a2. There needs to be king. Huh. I just take. I mean, if he takes here, I have also b4. Not b4, c4, sorry. Yeah, he plays so quick. It's just 1 second. And my idea was just to play c4 now. And if he wants, he can play knight c5, but I have a check. So this is just, you know, just losing. If he moves the rook, I have a check and I can take on f1, also with the bishop. It's time to resign. I mean, it was time to resign like 10 moves ago, but here is he cannot do anything. So, but okay, Then if he doesn't resign, we can look how to convert something like this the easiest way. So it's just to checkmate him or to get another queen. So check, I take f1 now, next move. Let's take this one. So he's just a rook. And by the way, I just threatened rook to e1 checkmate. Yeah, this was a very smooth win. I win 1 point, 1 rating point. And I just see that you cannot see the time. I need to change this for the next game. Yeah, and I play another 15 minutes game, and then I would say that's it for today.